Hey everybody, welcome to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion. Why did you do the show in the first place?
Okay, I didn't want to do the show.
Okay.
I have questioned his motives. Maybe it was to keep me, you know, preoccupied in California while he was having his affair.
So you first knew something was off when?
God, the end of February. And when did we start shooting? Right around then.
So it was right at the beginning of shooting.
Yeah. My husband was always very attentive, but his phone calls kept cutting back, and then he stopped calling, and then he would just text, and then the text stopped.
Is it true you don't have a prenup?
This is true. Yes.
Beneficial to you?
Yes. That's what my lawyer said. He said, "You have a prenup?" I said, "No." He goes, "Good for you."
Smart girl.
Darren from Burbank has a question that I want the answer to.
Okay.
He says, Camille, if you get $50 million, that's still a boatload of money. What will you do with the rest of your life? Are you going for 50?
I can't say.
I have to think that there's something sizable coming your way.
I'm going to say it's sizable, but I don't want to give the figure. I find that to be obnoxious, but
I think it's over 40.
Mm-hmm.
What, so pulling Oklahoma on your ass is what?
Yes.
What is that?
I have no idea.
All I kept thinking to myself was, here's this girl who's involved in domestic violence, who doesn't, believe she's in any of this domestic violence in here, and she's gonna all of a sudden, I don't like violence, so she's gonna take me out back in New York and throw me around the alley, like in the dump where the dumpsters are.
Right, and that is exactly what I did.
I was like, oh my gosh, where did that come from?
It was kind of a joke, Kim, and I don't appreciate you bringing my charity into it.
I'm just saying,
Right.
you're
Well,
the one
you
that
know
keeps
that I
saying
would
that you're
never
not
lay hands
violent,
on
but
you.
yet
I'm
you're
just
telling me
saying,
I'm going to take you
don't
out
talk about
back
my charity.
and give you some Oklahoma.
Okay, well,
So you were quick to go there.
and I didn't.
Christy in Philadelphia says, Lisa, saying Camille needs a pole when she dances or that Kim should escape back to Witch Mountain is funny, but it's catty too. Do you use humor to hide your mean girl streak?
Well, I don't think it is. I mean, she was dancing and shaking it and bending over. I mean, I call it how it is. I'm sorry if anybody's upset, but look at her. She doesn't seem upset. No, I don't agree with her at all.
Taylor, would you ever consider having your lip implant removed?
No, I wouldn't. I mean, I know a lot of people would probably like that. I get plenty of tweets about how it really bothers a lot of people, but I'm not going to have surgery, and it's been there for too long, so no.
What upsets people about it?
I don't know. People think about it a lot, though.
Right, we got a lot of questions about your
I know,
lips.
right? And I have a large mouth, and so a lot of people will say that as well.
My husband is an A-list celebrity. He's respected in his community. There's a big difference between that and the local Beverly Hills realtor. We were discussing our spring break trip, and she asked me, why are they shooting you in Hawaii for this show? And then she was asking other questions like, how long are you gonna be there? Then she asked, well, why don't you bring any of the other girls?
I never said any of that stuff.
No, Kyle, no, enough. I've had enough of you bullying me, and now's my time to take my power and tell you
Go right ahead, but
you're
that's not the
wrong.
truth. That's not
No,
the
because you
truth,
called me
Camille.
delusional, and this is what happened.
We're brought into the show, let's be honest, because I called you up and I
Yes.
said, would you like to join the cast of The Real
And what
Housewives
did
of
I
Beverly
say?
Hills?
I'm not
You did
really that
right. Can I talk
interested
for a
in it.
minute? She was not into it. I said, or why don't you talk to Kelsey and see what he thinks, why shouldn't you have something, And she said, yeah,
That's
you're
true.
right, and let me speak
That
to
is
Kelsey. Right. So she said, I'm going to Hawaii tomorrow. And I said, oh, wow, my God, you must be tired. Here we've been in Vegas all weekend. I said, is Kelsey meeting you? And she said, no. And I said, oh, really? Because I'm thinking that's normal for your husband to meet you on spring break. And then I said, are you taking a girlfriend? And she said, no. And I said, oh, really? Then she says to me, why does this bother you so much? And I said, what do you mean? Why does what bother me?
I said, obviously you have a problem
You
with
said,
this.
I can feel your tension.
I feel your tension,
Right.
and I feel that you might have a problem with this.
You felt that, but I
Yes.
didn't. Why
Okay.
would I want you on the show and then not want them to film you, Camille?
People say that people who are insecure are the people who react the strongest against the word insecure.
Absolutely, and I'm not saying that I'm not insecure. Absolutely, I'm sure I was feeling insecure at the time. My husband was leaving me. He was having an affair behind my back.
all
There's
of
a
us have a
lot
little
of
insecurity.
stuff
I
that
mean,
was
all
going
of us
on in
have
my
a little piece
personal
of
life,
insecurity.
and also in terms of this show, I thought,
But you
wow.
didn't know that at that point.
He wasn't
had an
returning
idea,
my
didn't
phone
you?
calls. I didn't know he had a lover at that time,
Okay.
and that was going on, but I knew something was off.
Do you think that Kyle is jealous of you?
No, I don't.
Well, now you say that after you realize that everyone has laughed at you saying that for a whole season, so.
Ouch. That's harsh.
Sorry. I'm sorry. You're the one who said all season that I was. Now the blogs have all said,
that
how
was
could
so
she
catty.
say that?
What you just said was so catty.
Yeah, it was catty. You're right. That was.
She said this one word, delusional, and it just kept going and going and going and going. And
I don't
everything
know what
that
other
I
word to
read.
use when someone says one thing and you hear something else. I don't know another word for that. I apologize.
In the course that we've been sitting here, you blamed Kyle for bullying you and kind of setting you up on the show. You blamed the situation you were in with Kelsey as putting a lot of pressure on you. And you've talked about things that were taken out of context, or you feel like, you know.
I just didn't feel like my character's rounded out.
Is there anything you will take responsibility for that you can say, you know what, this I get?
Well, like what I said about Kyle and, well, actually, Allison said it first. I've known Mauricio for how long now? Several years, and he's always been friendly. But that doesn't mean...
Friendly or flirty?
You didn't mean it like that, Camille, you know. At least fess up to something, please. You meant that to be in a negative way. You meant that in a negative way, and that you were doing that out of spite that night. Can you just at least say that?
Okay, yes, maybe I did.
We are back with the ladies of Beverly Hills, and joining us for the reunion show are the Real Housewives husbands. Russell, I'm wondering what it was like for you watching Taylor upset, confiding in Kyle about your relationship.
It was difficult. You know, the last 3 years have been very challenging for the entire country, and I've candidly been working 80-hour weeks, and it's very easy to get preoccupied with kids and business and just the day-to-day grind.
Hope from Phoenix, Arizona said, Russell, what did you think when you heard that your wife was afraid you might trade her in for a 20-year-old?
I don't have the energy for a 20-year-old, so.
Mauricio, you are so hot. Kyle, you've said that since the show aired, women have been sending Mauricio racy photos. How explicit are these photos?
It was a nude photo of a lady that, you know, was very blunt. And...
Kelsey's fine with me hanging out with handsome Nick while he's away.
Congratulations.
Okay, one on the lips. Wait, it's good.
Everybody should have a Nick, come on.
To be fair, the woman standing behind you in that last scene is his wife.
Yes.
So,
she's in a lot of the scenes.
She is,
yes.
and I'm just wondering.
She was there most of the time.
Well, what does she say about the show and about the way your relationship is portrayed on the show?
After watching it, she started getting upset because people are asking her, oh my God.
Kim, you were sitting right there.
I don't think I get nervous.
I promised my mom when she was dying that I would look after my sister, Kim.
I've been a great sister to you, and I think you're being
Really? In New York at the table, forgetting that you're my sister. You knew the truth and you didn't speak up.
It was a really difficult night.
There were so many accusations, there was so much anger, and what I was struck by was how deep back it went. The elephant in the room is, you know, do you have a drinking problem?
No, there's nothing I want to talk about that night at all.
One of the most talked about dinner parties in Housewives history involved two feuding housewives, a socialite made famous by the O.J. Simpson trial, a world-renowned psychic, an electric cigarette, and plenty of Camille cocktails.
Haunted house at Disneyland. I just want to get out of here. You started this.
I mean, it was a few clowns short of a circus. Oh, exhausting.
Are you gonna make us relive this?
Do you think that she was out of line?
I just don't want to say anything about
No,
somebody.
I understand that. Let me say it for you. She was a nasty piece of work. She was looking for trouble.
When Faye first shakes my hand, I'm very open. I'm like, hi, Faye, welcome. And she goes, hi. She kind of gives that, like, fake smile. Hey, Camille Grammer, welcome to my house. Thank you for coming.
Very sweet.
And she walks away and she turns her head and you see that little fake smile. I just don't like that. I want people to be really sincere.
I think doing porno is a lot more corrupt than doing a tasteful spread in Playboy.
That was harsh, Kyle. It's harsh and it's hurtful.
I almost shoved this up her ass just to prove a point. Except I think she needed a bigger one than this to even feel it. If any of their children disappeared, they wouldn't be like, you were wrong. They'd be like, can you help? Them.
So what was your reaction when you heard that?
I thought that was disgusting. I thought it was one of the meanest mean girl sessions I've ever seen, to talk about someone's children, or I know when she's gonna die. I think that was terrible.
Despicable. Yeah, she said if any of their children go missing,
Yeah, that was horrible.
they can. I mean,
yeah, there
pretty-
were some things that were said that
Yeah.
weren't very nice. And to Kyle, I'm so sorry. I feel awful. I've had a really tough year, and that's no excuse.
Lisa, take us out on a toast. Do you have anything clever in your bag of
I don't actually,
tricks?
but I just really say it from the heart that I've had an incredible time with all these women, and I want to thank everybody.